opening remarks and the welcome remarks and the keynote addresses from the Secretary General of ASEAN and also from the former President of the Asian Development Bank, excellently chaired and moderated by Mr. Hayashi, gave the initial outlay and perspective for this whole conference, the AJBM 46th meeting and the conference. Now, in plenary session 1, I think looking at the COVID impact and what we call ourselves now the new normal, Dr. Endo, the NEC Corporation Chairman, and also Mr. Taro Shimada, Chief Digital Officer of Toshiba Corporation, brought in the technological perspectives of how the transformation, I think throughout this conference, we have been looking at the digitalization and the digital transformation that is taking place. I think they gave the perspectives and seeing what Japan is doing in order to propel this and whether the ASEAN countries would be ready to take on these initiatives in a collaborative way. And of course, from the Philippines, Mr. Fernando de Ayala, I think he gave how the impact has caused and how the disruption is being taken up positively by stakeholders and partners engaging in the environment within the economic, social, and health factors in Philippines, and how they have been able to transform and also modernize some of their key business areas. And finally, we looked at from Mr. Patrick Tang, Vice President from Singapore, looking at some aspects of the digital impact from AI, machine learning, and the other aspects. Overall, the first plenary session gave the new industry perspectives and how the changes will be absorbed by the business sectors and moving on to the recovery and also the ability to transform and revive the economy and the businesses. So that is overall from the perspective of the plenary session 1, which I think was well done. Just as a final point, I've been looking at the second and the third plenary sessions. I don't want to comment on that, but the array of speakers and the subject matter which they have covered is very, very vast and also very highly informative. And I'm afraid that only about 300 or people were able to benefit. And this reach out must go into a much more a bigger number, and perhaps MAJECA and Keizai Doyukai can do something to condense some of the speeches and the presentations and the discussions into the form of capsules and podcast days at some point in time in the future.